If you're an adult over 30 that has been stuck in the vicious weight loss yo-yo cycle and you've always struggled to build health and fitness as part of your everyday life, then you've probably heard of Ozempic. And I'm going to get stuck into this straight away and deliver the truth about Ozempic for weight loss. Now, unless you're morbidly obese and without medical intervention, you are told you are going to die, there is no place for Ozempic in your life. Because if you're just a busy adult with a family, hardworking, living a crazy, chaotic life as we all are, that just wants to lose a couple of stone, finally get to the end of their weight loss journey so they can step into the best version of themselves and feel incredible in their own skin with health and fitness a consistent part of your life, then you don't need to be taking it. For starters, if we look at the potential side effects, is that even a worth risk taking? But for me, the one thing that Ozempic does is it buys into the whole identity of someone that is stuck in a weight loss yo-yo cycle, because it's seen as a fad, something that we think we can take to suddenly magically improve our situation. When we break it down, all that we're simply doing is using that as a tool to achieve a goal without doing and going through the actual process. Because the reality is, we can spend £200 a month on an injection and hope to magically lose weight and completely change the trajectory of our life, which just isn't the case. Now, yes, taking something like this may help you to lose weight, but is it going to help you actually sustain that weight loss? Or is it just another fad like when we, do a crash diet for holiday, when we, do a crazy workout plan for 6 weeks, hope to lose a bit of weight, and then, we pile it back on again. And this is where so many over 30s that are trying to break free of that weight loss yo-yo cycle, this Ozempic, it's given them a glimmer of hope. It's given them a light at the end of the tunnel and something else to kind of latch onto. And this is it. This is what's going to help me finally lose the weight that I've always wanted and, learn how to sustain it for life, which just isn't the case because, so many people are now taking Ozempic to lose weight, to create the body that they've always wanted, to show up as the best version of themselves because they feel that is the answer. But the reality is we are not actually learning the foundational habits of how we lose weight and sustain it in the first place. If we're just thinking that we can take an injection, okay, we can take a weight loss drug and magically we're going to be able to be in the best shape of our life, show up as the best versions of ourselves and actually have all of the foundational habits that will allow us to sustain it for life, then who are we kidding? Because you can't expect to take an injection to help you to lose weight and still watch TV every night for 3 or 4 hours, not prioritize going on a walk, not valuing living a healthy lifestyle, binge eating on an evening, no changes to your nutrition, your mindset, your identity. Nothing is going to change. And simply what will happen is you will spend £200 a month on an injection, see a bit of a short-term progress, and then what? Are we going to take this for the rest of our life? Because if we don't value changing who you are and actually go through an identity change, all that will happen is when you stop taking that, you will just go back to square one because you won't have any healthy habits built, you won't have changed your values, and essentially your identity wouldn't have changed. Okay? So this is the importance. And the thing that always blows my mind is that, people can very happily convince themselves that, yep, I can, commit to making a payment of £200 a month for a drug, which is literally just something they inject in themselves once every single day, yet they can't spend the same amount on coaching, which will actually help them to improve every area of their lifestyle and actually help them to change their identity. That is the key difference here. Ozempic is a short-term fix to a long-term problem. Okay, it's simply an injection that you take once a day. It's not teaching you how to change your mindset, how to build health and fitness into your unique, chaotic life, how to eat properly, how to value exercise, how to change your lifestyle and actually make this part of who you are so that it stands the test of time, so that it allows you to show up as the best version of yourself and finally get to that place that you've always dreamed of. And this is why the kind of social media influence of these drugs, and again, it's pushed as a quick fix. And in today's society, we always, want everything with a click of the fingers without having to put the work in. And it's so exciting and inviting to so many over 30s that for years have tried everything. You've tried everything. You've tried fad diets, you've worked with PTs, you've maybe done some online coaching programs, you've joined fitness classes, and no matter what you've done, nothing has ever worked. So when this miracle Ozempic weight loss drug comes out, it's the first thing you latch onto because it's hope. It helps you to believe that maybe there is something out there for me. But this is just a wrong way of thinking about it, because if you have been stuck in the constant weight loss yo-yo cycle, you've struggled to ever build health and fitness as part of your life, the reality is that you've just never done the actual work that you need to do, because you've never looked at your identity, the person that you view yourself to be, and the influence that that has on your values, your actions, your behaviors, and your habits. You've never actually looked at improving your lifestyle habits. You've never been through a process that naturally takes you from where you are now to where you need to be, because you need to build your self-belief. You need to change your identity. You need to learn how to normalize bad days. You need to ditch the all or nothing mindset and learn to be consistent over perfect. There are so many fundamental mental changes that you need to go through to actually be able to lose weight and sustain it. And once you unlock them and you go through that process, you will see like how capable you are. When we build the right habits, when we actually learn how to integrate health and fitness into your life, the unique life that you live, so you can still uphold the responsibilities that you have as an adult, it's absolutely life-changing. But if you've always invested in quick fixes, if you've never, 1 hour PT sessions a week, gym classes, online coaching programs, if you've never actually invested in yourself properly, invested in a mindset change, an identity change, then, you will never see that for yourself. But that is what is needed if you're to finally break free of the weight loss yo-yo cycle, because just taking a drug will just paper over the cracks. It won't actually help you to change, so that when you stop taking it, well, it's not going to stand the test of time. And also, what are the side effects of taking a drug that is still quite new, it's not as widely researched, and, what are we going to do? Take that for the rest of our lives? Why don't you put that time and energy and effort and money into investing in yourself, actually investing in learning the skills required to achieve and sustain your goal? Because just like anything in life, when you learn to drive, when you learn to write, it's a skill, okay? And through application, through going through the process and learning, we can actually acquire the skills needed to be able to, consistently do that and learn it. It's just learned through repetition, consistency. So if you learn the right habits, have the right mindset shifts, and learn the right educational pieces around nutrition, your lifestyle, your mindset, your habits, together, that holistic approach to health and fitness, your journey and yourself, can take you all the way to where you want to be, which is finally ditch that weight loss yo-yo cycle, show up as the best version of yourself, and just feel incredible in your own skin. And one of the things I want to touch on here is there is a reason that so many millionaires or lottery winners go broke, okay? The stat is crazy. Like within the first year or two, the amount of people that win the lottery and then file for bankruptcy is crazy. And here is the reason for this. And this relates to weight loss and can tie into using Ozempic for that as well. The reason so many lottery winners, who win millions of pounds, are bankrupt in a couple of years is because they don't have the identity of someone that knows how to handle that much money. You're literally talking about an average Joe from the streets who earns, £30,000 a year is suddenly given, £2 billion. Like, they don't have the identity to know how to handle money, how to manage it, how to invest it, how to ensure that money makes money. That compounding effect of investing in stocks and shares and buying properties. And, so they end up just getting all this money, spending it all, and then they file for bankruptcy and they go back to square one. And it's the same with Ozempic for weight loss. If you take Ozempic without any intention of changing your mindset, your habits, your belief system, your values, or your identity, all that happens is you take it. Okay, you're going to lose a little bit of weight because it suppresses your appetite. It might reduce whatever it does on paper, what they claim it to be, and all of the ins and outs, and reduces, all of that sort of stuff, and magically burns fat and whatever else, the claims they make. The reality is it will only be short-lived, because the second that you stop taking it, you still have the same identity. You still don't value health and fitness. You still don't prioritize yourself. You still don't put your needs before anyone else's. You still lack self-belief. You still believe that you're not worthy of having a body that you can feel comfortable in and happy. You still view yourself as the fat person. You still view yourself as the unfit one out of your friendship group, okay? So because we haven't changed that identity, your behaviors haven't changed. Your behaviors are still binge eating, using alcohol to make yourself feel better, a lack of exercise because you feel like you don't have the time. Okay, you're just so busy and you can't prioritize yourself. Yet you'll prioritize going out and buying things, superficial things that are not actually bringing any addition, or positivity to your life. So this is the key, guys. This is why Ozempic for weight loss, and this is the harsh truth, that if you're banking on that to help you to lose weight and completely change your life, then, you're wrong. You've got another thing coming, because that drug alone will not change you long term. And even if you take it, and even if you manage to lose a couple of stone, the reality is, are you actually going to look better? Because so many adults that I speak to, they tell me they want to lose weight. But the more that you delve into it, it's not just about losing weight. They want to look more toned. They want to feel better. They want to live better. They want to show up as the best versions of themselves for them, their family, and their loved ones. So if we take Ozempic, okay, let's say we lose a couple of stone, but the reality is, do we actually look any better for it? Because if we haven't been watching our diet and eating protein, getting enough fruit and vegetables in, if we haven't been doing any resistance training or any exercise to actually help, build lean muscle tissue, which is what gives our body shape, structure, and tone, then the weight that we've lost is going to be, body fat, but also water weight, and also it's going to be muscle. So even though we've lost 2 stone and we look slimmer, we still have the same body composition. We still have in our muscle cells, they're mainly comprised of a higher fat to muscle ratio. Okay, more fat and water, less muscle, which still means that even though you've lost a couple of stone, you don't have that athletic dream body that you want. You're still, conscious of your arms because they're still really soft. You've still got a saggy stomach. You've still got, a saggy bum. And that is because you haven't done the process properly. Yes, you've lost a few stone, but you've lost muscle as well. So you've lost your shape. You haven't done the process properly. You haven't got enough protein, and you haven't been doing strength training. You haven't, improved certain habits and changed your mindset. So the reality is that even though progress has been achieved, is it the progress that you want? Are you 100% satisfied with how you look? No, you're not going to be. So then what are you going to do? Are we going to continue taking the drug, £200 a month for an injection a day, that doesn't change your mindset, doesn't help you to build better habits, doesn't change, or improve your well-being, doesn't help you to finally get to the end of your weight loss journey so you can show up as the best version of yourself and sustain it for life? It's just going to burn a hole in your pocket, more money and time wasted, a short-term result, who knows the side effects, and for what? Whereas you could literally spend the same amount of money each month on coaching and actually step into the best version of yourself, learn how to change your identity, improve your relationship with food, build better habits, okay, that stand the test of time and allow you to show up as the best version of yourself, because you actually build confidence in yourself. Your body finally changes to how you've always viewed it, okay? And that allows you to achieve more confidence, more success, and less worry in life. So you can be present with your family and create success and happiness and memories that you've always wanted. So this is the crazy thing about Ozempic. It's people will not invest money in coaching to actually better themselves in life, not just now, but their future, their future health, which is everything. Like, you are the vehicle that drives your life. Without it, we have nothing. We're talking about your longevity, your well-being and happiness and success and fulfillment in life. They will happily spend £200 a month on a weight loss injection that they'll take once a day. It just blows my mind. And if you're watching this and it's kind of triggered you in a way or got you thinking differently, then I'm so glad. Because if you are an over 30 that wants to finally learn how to achieve and sustain their dream body, their dream healthy lifestyle, so you can show up with more confidence, more success, and less worry, you need to do things differently. And Ozempic for you, as a busy adult that's got a family, that's got a good career, that lives a chaotic life like me with 2 under 2, 3 animals, a wife, running a business. It's always go, go, go. But the reality is, you will never learn how to step into that person that you've always wanted to be. And Ozempic for you is just another quick fix. It's a short-term solution to a long-term problem, and it's just a fad, something that will burn a hole in your pocket. And reality is, once it's all said and done, it will not do much for you other than a short-term temporary woohoo, I've lost 2 stone, and then, oh God, I've gained it all back again, and I've lost £1,000 doing it, and I'm no better off because I'm just back to square one. And now my self-belief is damaged further. Now I believe I definitely can't change because I've tried something else and it hasn't worked. and you just drive yourself deeper into the hole. So you have to zoom out, see the bigger picture, stretch your vision, and understand that Ozempic is a no-no. Okay, Mounjaro, all the others, it's all the same. And that is Ozempic for weight loss, the truth. So I hope you found this useful. And if my way of thinking kind of triggered you or was thought-provoking, this is why I'm here. This is what I do inside of the Lean and Fulfilled lifestyle, and why I help over 30s finally ditch that weight loss yo-yo cycle once and for all and actually step into the version of themselves that they've always wanted to be, growing across all facets of life. So you can find in the description information about me. Have a look at all of my content. There is so much free stuff out there for you to enjoy, to learn from. And yeah, I hope you stick around, enjoyed it. Make sure to hit the follow button if you haven't already. And yeah, any questions, let me know. See you in the next